Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah. Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Sayyidi ya Rasulullah. Respected friends, viewers, listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As you may know, election was recently held in this country, and the results um, have already been announced quite early, actually, during the election. And it became clear to me and to many people that there was a big U-turn in the polls uh, regarding this election, meaning that the Conservative Party, they were slated to win this election hands down, form a majority government, have a landslide victory, but because of some sudden uh, groundbreaking events that occurred in the United States of America, namely the election of Donald Trump, the tariffs, and his um, his proposal to make Canada the 51st state of the United States of America. The people of Canada, the Canadian people, they were provoked by this kind of rhetoric, and they voted en masse to stay the course under the Liberal Party, as they feel that this is the most patriotic party, or the party that's most committed to Canada, the party that will uh, counter Trump and Trump type politics, MAGA type politics, so on and so forth. Now, I want to analyze the situation from a Muslim perspective and also from my personal perspective. I believe that it would actually be a good idea for Canada to become the 51st state of the United States of America, purely for the material benefits, the economic benefits. And I suspect a lot of people agree with me on this, although they may not be uh, willing to voice it. That's understandable. Bismillah. That's very understandable. However, I'll voice my opinion. I'll be the voice for some of the voiceless people, and I'll say that this country, particularly for us Muslims, uh, we're treated like second class citizens in this country. We are the most marginalized minority community in the entire country, the most marginalized, the most discriminated against, and we're treated like second class citizens in this country. Therefore, why would we have any attachment to this country? Why would we have any attachment to or have any patriotic sentiments? That doesn't make any sense. I ask my fellow Muslims who live in this country, why would you have any desire for Canada not to become the 51st state, other than some patriotic sentiment, which doesn't make sense in the first place, since we're not even treated with respect in this country. We're not treated with respect in this country. I'd say if the you know the if becoming the 51st state has some material benefits for us, and in terms of better opportunities, better economic opportunities, better opportunities for mobility, instead of being restricted to this part of the world, we could we could have suddenly a lot of opportunity will open up to us to move to better parts of the world, and then to have the American citizenship, to have that American passport, to have that American green card. That's a very valuable thing to have. It's a very valuable thing to have. If we were offered that in exchange for giving up on this country, obviously I would take it within a heartbeat. And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, they would definitely seize that opportunity. They would want that. There's only this foolish sentiment of patriotism that is serving as an obstacle to otherwise wonderful opportunity, a golden opportunity, golden opportunity. So therefore, I invite you to reconsider, if you're a Canadian, if you live in Canada. First of all, I don't even consider myself a Canadian. I don't even consider me. I don't think any Muslim should consider themselves a Canadian. We it's not our country. Even if we're born here or we lived here all our life, it's not our country. We I have no attachment to it. I have no link to it. Have no, no sentiments for it whatsoever. So if somebody offers me opportunity to become the 51st state, I want to take that. I want to take that opportunity, and I think that there should be a referendum on this question. There should be a referendum on this question. Of course, before that referendum, both sides should, the side of yes and the side of no, should have the opportunity to put forward their argument, to put forward their case, and try to persuade the people. And then I say the side, the yes side, the side that says yes, we should become the 51st state. That side should get organized and start, explaining to ordinary people, because people in this country, they're not very politically educated. They're they're not very enlightened about these matters. I've noticed that here. They're not in terms of politics. There's political illiteracy, is what I'm trying to say. Political illiteracy in this part of the world. So I would say that a campaign for the yes side in such a hypothetical referendum would be given the opportunity to make their case of becoming the 51st state, be able to make their case and say, here are the practical material benefits that will be immediate, not to mention those that are in the long term, of being an American citizen. If America buys this country, the people that are going to be paid are Canadians like you and me. We're the ones that are going to get that money. We're going to get that money in exchange for selling this country. And by we could you could use that money for sure. I'm sure of it. A lot of our people, we could use that money. And then of course that U.S. passport, that American citizenship, the mobility to travel anywhere and live anywhere in the United States of America, places that are more appealing rather than places here in Canada. So I would definitely take that opportunity. Bismillah. And people should have a choice in the matter. Of course, right now, if such a referendum was held today, it would be a disaster for our side, because people are blinded by these patriotic sentiments that are against their own interests. Again, they'll vote against their own interests. That's how, I want to say, that's how naive people are, or that's how brainwashed they are, basically. But yeah, I mean, for my fellow Muslims that live here, I say consider this matter carefully. I mean, I'm not saying take my word for it. Research the matter, research the pros and the cons, and consider it. Consider whether it would be better for us to become the 51st state. I surely think it would be better for us to become the 51st state, especially the state of affairs right now in this country is disastrous, is catastrophic in terms of the economic situation. There's no housing. The healthcare system is a total disaster. People used to pride themselves on the healthcare system, but the socialized healthcare system, it punishes people that are healthy, that don't have to go to the doctor every second day, don't have to have 1,000 pharmaceutical subscriptions, prescriptions. Sorry, is what I meant to say. So I mean, the healthcare system, it punishes you if you're healthy, if you have a healthy lifestyle, makes you pay all these taxes for a system that doesn't even work. You go to these hospitals, you go to these clinics, they're all backed up, and the doctors are exploiting it. They're bill there was a story recently in Ottawa of some doctor that was like billing the government millions of dollars for his medical services. billions of dollars. And by the way, those medical services that he was providing to his community were basically safe drug supply to drug addicts. This is what our taxes are being spent on. It's being spent on giving drug addicts a safe drug supply. That's our hard-earned money is being spent on that. That's the state of affairs in this country. We live in a country that's being held hostage by Quebec. The country is being held hostage by Quebec and their interests. Their interests come before the interests of all the other provinces. All the other provinces, the people here, they got to suffer because of Quebec's selfishness. That's the kind of country we live in. It's a broken country. It's an artificial country. It's a country that has no prospects, no future, unless the only ray of hope, the only light at the end of the tunnel is if you seriously consider becoming the 51st state. So I say become the 51st state. Until next time, assalamu alaikum.